Hey there, and howdy everybody to this wonderful, I believe, 69th episode.
Trina.
I am not
family
saying
show.
Of
when did that BS start? It's never been a
I don't
family
know.
show
I don't
since
know
I've been
who
on.
came up with
I
that.
very quickly had 2 or 3 kids, and they're all watching in the other room.
Very quickly had 2 or 3 kids.
Anyway, thank you everybody for watching tonight. Thank you to all the people in the wonderful chat who are stopping by to watch us be crazy on the internet. It's awesome. Let's say hi to some of the folks. We got Francois, Ryan, Retrotech or Die, CDI, Cat, Ian, Francois again, One Bit Fever, James, Jack, Veronica Explains with her check mark. Yeah. Hi, Veronica. Who else? We got Dave.
We don't need to
CDI
talk about anybody else. We got
and
Veronica Explains. That's it.
Yeah,
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we're
Cool.
we're like Eric's Edge. Yeah, we're all over the place. So again, thank you all for stopping by tonight. Remember, while you're here, click the like button thingy-doodle and do the subscribe-a-doodles. Or hit the hate button. I don't care. YouTube counts the like button, the hate button identically.
Yeah.
So do that.
Hi.
What?
I just wanted to quickly interrupt.
Yes.
For those who are not a Patreon subscriber to Veronica Explains, go subscribe. She has an amazing Discord channel for the subscribers and subscribers only.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not a subscriber or a monthly coffee subscriber as well, I know last I heard she was working with coffee to get those people in. But yes, an amazing network of people. So
Trina, what options are there for people like me who still use the postal service, who might want to place a crisp dollar bill inside of an envelope, and then mail that to someone? Is there a service or something that exists for people like Luddites like me?
No.
Okay. Well,
It's
those you heard it here. Keep your money.
Right now.
Keep your money, Luddites. Just go back to throwing your wooden shoes in the windmills. Leave us alone.
Exactly.
So,
you're welcome, Veronica.
Without further ado, let us introduce real quick our hosts. Of course, we've got Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. We have Trina from Trina's Technobabble, trinastech.com, and this crazy dude right here who's wearing this wonderful shirt from Eric's Edge that just came out. Yeah, stare at that for a second, guys. Take that in. Look at that design. Get it? Get it? Reefa madness. Get it? Yeah. So, and now our wonderful guest, Ashton. Hey, Ashton, how you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hanging in there.
Right on. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that you still have a voice after the event that you just were to.
Yeah, we were at the World of Commodore, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of talking, a lot of hanging out. So yeah, it was our local the Toronto Pet Users Group puts it on every year, and I think it was the first one was like 1979 or something like that. So it's been, I think it's it's been on and off throughout the decades, but yeah, lots of fun.
Cool. So, what did you give us a few more details about that? Since you were just coming back from there.
So, like I would say, I've never been to any of the major ones down south in the U.S. of A. But I think it's like a kind of a scaled down. Now it's a scaled down version of that. So it was a one room kind of situation, and then they had another room set off for what's it called, for different presentations and things too.
Stop changing it.
Yeah. Whoa. It's like the Brady Bunch.
Who's Alice?
So,
anyway.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And vendors and that kind of stuff. People with really cool things they want to show off. My one friend Jorge, who's got a great channel here. Unfortunately can't remember the name of his channel, but he had a bunch of computers from Argentina, like the Commodore Dreen, if anybody's familiar with that one. And some like ZX Spectrum things, and yeah, so it's really cool, kind of a good mix of different. It's not just Commodore too. There's a guy who had a pile of Atari stuff. So yeah, not just Commodore, but yeah, a lot of fun.
And also one of the alum from the Retro Repair Roundup gave a talk today. That would be Rudy's Retro Intel.
Yeah,
did it at 11 o'clock today. So
hey, Rudy.
Yeah,
Rudy.
Rudy,
World of
Rudy,
Commodore was
Rudy.
fun.
Yeah, man.
Rudy
Oh, I
is
saw.
a legend and also a pseudo former future co-host of our show. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. So I have a question for you, sir. And that question would be, I'm very curious to wonder, when did you get into retro computing? Was it a thing that has always been with you since childhood, or did you like drop the old computers and then come back to it? Or because I've heard that that's a fairly frequent thing when COVID hit and people were working from home a lot. They're like, I have free time, I'm going to do fun things. So kind of curious about that.
The COVID thing definitely re-sparked it, but since I was like a kid, my mom, I was like, you've been dragging junk home from wherever, from the side of the road, so I've always kind of been doing, but like, back then it wasn't really retro. Like even like, I would say in the early 2000s, I was buying up tons of Nintendo stuff. Every time I'd walk home from school, there was a place called the Swap It Shop, and they had NES games for $1 and, old software, Commodore stuff for, cents, like for, basically giving it away. And so I would just like collect all this stuff. Anytime my schools would be giving away, the electronics department at school, giving away computers. And I remember had a stack of PS2 computers from the old networking thing that they had going on there. So for a really long time, but like, yeah, sometimes you kind of shelve things, especially with when I started my business, I didn't have a lot of time to kind of do anything other than that. So, but when COVID hit, it kind of gave me a little bit more free time to work on some things. But no, like I've been sort of new to social media, so I've almost been naive to the fact that there is even a retro computer or a retro community in general. So like just kind of getting into that. So before I'd kind of have it hidden away and like in the closet and stuff, but now everything's on full display, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. So I think most people that watch your channel understand the classroom vibe of a lot of the videos and shorts and stuff that you produce. So when did you start your journey to become an educator? Was that something that was always sort of a goal of yours? Because I know that there are some kids that just grow up that are just like, they have that one teacher that inspires them, and they're like, oh gosh, I want to be a history teacher, or I want to teach English, or I love music, and I want to be somebody that instills that love in other people. So when did you kind of start that journey?
When I was a kid, like both my parents were educators, teacher and principal. My mom's a principal, my dad was a teacher. My brother's a teacher. My aunts and uncles are all teachers. So it's like really runs in our family. So I think that's, I always knew I was going to kind of go in that direction. And then the music thing, I steered towards that. I went to Mohawk College, a local place in Hamilton, and studied jazz, jazz drumming, actually, as jazz drummer for years. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's always just kind of been a thing of mine. And like, when I getting into music, you're probably at some point going to be teaching. I played lots of gigs and things, but played lots of gigs and stuff. But all right,
Ron, I'm doing it.
Bonjour.
Anyway, go ahead.
And this is, by the way, now known as the Canadian Retro Repair Roundup, since we're taking over.
Yes.
How's it going, eh? All right, here we go.
Sorry about that.
Go on.
All right. Oh, really? No way. Woo.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Veronica. Yeah.
But I've worked in education most of my professional life, and there's so many people, and it's really cool when you meet those other people. Like there's a guy on my campus that has a Lisa in his office and has a Mac TV and has lots of other kind of vintage computers and things like that aren't maybe necessarily part of curriculum, but are definitely things that are just on display to maybe get people talking and make connections with people, because that's how I was able to make a connection with them. But as you because you seem to have quite a few things in your classroom, how do you integrate that stuff into your curriculum?
Well, basically it's music instruction. So it's a lot of those things don't have to do with music instruction in general, but like it's just kind of there for like if there's a lot of downtime, kids can mess around with, like I said, the one kid for half an hour will play Sticky Bear Math, just sit there playing while her brother's jam and do their thing kind of thing. So it's like not really part of the curriculum yet, but like I would like to eventually maybe get into something a little bit more. Like I don't know if it would be music directly, but something we've got the space for that kind of thing. So yeah, I would like to definitely integrate it a bit more. But right now it's just almost like just stuff in the office and stuff in the rooms that kids can kind of mess around with and check out.
Very cool.
Cool.
All right, and
Yeah.
I from what you've been saying, I assume music has always been an interest of yours.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've always
Yeah.
been, since I was like a young kid, I've been in the school bands and various other bands and things. So yeah, it's pretty much my whole life that said obviously collecting things and holding on to stuff has been a big part of it too. But yeah, music's where I kind of, make my money and my career choice. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing it for a long time. Yeah. Things
Here's
like this.
I have a quick question for Ron.
Yeah.
Does Rudy see the question list or not?
I sent Rudy, I sent you a message on Discord and added your name on a few. So
You also need to change your microphone, Rudy, because you sound like you're at the end of the subway station.
Yeah.
Actually, he sounds
Rudy's
like
been gone out of streaming and video
Yeah.
chat for so long. He
Right.
forgot how to run the computer.
Here we go.
He actually, if you ever come to Toronto and take the TTC, he actually sounds like the announcers on the TTC. You understand every other word, and you're like, all you hear is track, delay, and one of the two stops. Yeah.
Better when I'm closer to the mic.
no, it sounds like you've got the wrong mic selected.
Yeah.
It might be the external microphone.
It's okay.
Well, speaking,
Welcome to Retro Repair Roundup, where technical problems are the norm.
there we go. I can incorporate this into the curriculum. There we go.
There you
Got
go.
a
Yes.
synthesizer for the Commodore
Oh, yeah.
64.
Nice.
Neat.
Be sweet.
How's that?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know, I-
much
Much
better.
better. There we are. Now we got you.
Hey.
Hi, Rudy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Rudy.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I had the wrong.
So
It
Dr.
defaults,
Rudy,
it defaults to a mic that I don't have, and so it gets all
Oh.
confused and uses all the mics, like on the cameras, on my
Yeah.
actual mic.
Nice.
Anyways, sorry about that.
Sweet.
Subway is now closed.
yeah, because
Please
I can
don't
hear
come
you,
back.
so that means
Mind
yeah.
the gap.
Yeah, mind the gap.
They ran out of waterlogged vegetables, so they're shut down now.
Exactly.
Have you ever noticed that every vegetable tastes exactly the same? It's
Yes.
like they're in some communal vat of water and they just mingle, and it's
No.
just like it's just a generic veggie flavor.
No, because I like cucumbers, cannot stand the taste of tomatoes. So
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah, I love tomatoes. I can't stand cucumbers.
well then I wouldn't go to Subway because every vegetable tastes the same.
Well, that's
Pretty
because
much.
it's literally all dumped in one bucket and they sort it in the back
I
room.
just said that, Trina.
You gotta give the people something to do in between the 6 orders a day they have. So
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Yes.
anyway,
So, Rudy, did you see the message in Discord from Ron?
question.
Yes.
All right, Joe. Why don't you take the next one, and then Joe,
I'll
and then
take the
Rudy
next
can
one.
take.
I
the
found
next
some. Here's
one.
another one. There's
Yes.
some more music software. There we go. People were giving me a bunch of
Actually,
educational software.
Why is
World of
Ashton not
Commodore.
big, by the way?
I'm-
Joe?
Let me-
Oh,
let me
no,
check
don't
the
make me
phone.
big. No, I'm fine here. I'm good.
Mhm.
No.
There.
There you go.
Now you're
Maximal
full
big.
screen.
Further back.
So I have the next question, and my question for you is: do you collect digital instruments like keyboards or synth modules, MIDI stuff?
Not really. I'm a drummer, so that's my excuse.
Oh, as if Roland doesn't want your money for drums.
That's true. I do have some. A parent recently gave me a little roll and it's like it's a drum, some kind of module with a bunch of software and stuff. But all the discs are like completely roached and rotted and no good anymore. But yeah, maybe I can figure something out with that. But I've never been a technical guy when it comes to that. I'm pretty much the closest I came to playing drums for some bands. I do a lot of Like we did a lot of like playing with backing tracks and things like that. So, but yeah, as far as synths and stuff, not really a big collector of that. I collected kind of like older guitars from like Sears, basically like K guitars, like the made in Japan kind of stuff. What was it? K and the like something like the Tesco and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I dig that kind of stuff. But yeah, more of a drummer, guitar player. I do teach like entry level like keyboard and that kind of stuff, but I've never been too into that.
Just a follow-up question. The drum thingy that you got, what is the software? Like, what computer is it for?
I think IBM compatibles. I think it's got the unit itself has a floppy drive on it.
Right.
So if you
might be able to find it like an archive.
Oh, I'm sure I can probably find how to, but I don't even know what it like. I just like briefly looked at it and put it in a box somewhere, so I'll have to dig it out because that would be definitely something that would be wicked cool.
I was gonna say though, it's there is a point with all that like drum machines and things like that where it just largely kind of replaced outside of live performance, seemingly kind of erased a lot of opportunities for people.
That's like the one band that I played with. It was very different when you're wearing a set of headphones and you got a click in your ear and you're playing to a backing track. That's basically what it was. So, and it was kind of a pain for me because I called it mission control. I'd have to lug around this giant box with the stems machine and like there's like a backup thing in case that machine went out, then the next machine would kick in. So it was all this stuff, and it kind of did suck the fun out of it. Of just like basically I can almost not even hear the band. My job is to play along to this backing track, and everybody's playing along to me, kind of thing. So it's like you can kind of move it around. Like if you're you can kind of move the beat around a bit, but when you're not, even just having a click is different than having a whole set of like backing track. So it's a lot different, especially from like for years I played jazz, which is like. That's completely live. Even like the recordings are all live, that kind of thing. So it's a totally different thing, and like heavily improvisational. Where a backing track thing, you're a gig, you're just you have one job. So.
Hey Rudy.
Hello.
Do you have any questions?
Yes. So because you have so many different machines on your channel, which ones are your favorite that you use?
Probably the Commodore 64 has got to be like I have a hard time picking absolute favorites, but just because it was my first computer and the first one that I like got to have as my own, so probably that. It's really hard to pick favorite. Like Apple II, because like in school that's the first computers we were using, and Mac. Same kind of thing. So I'd probably lean towards those. Yeah, Apple II forever. Yeah. Yeah. So I'd probably lean towards those things. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have so many different types of equipment and machines, it's kind of hard. They all have, pros and cons, but there's always one or two that are, really pull your heartstrings.
Hey, it's Mike. Hey.
Mike.
You seem to have a lot of 8-bit machines in your collection. And I know that Apple II had such like a footprint in education in the US. What was that like in Canada?
That same thing here. We had, so my school, it's interesting because I kind of got a view of two different parallels. So my parents worked in the neighboring school board, Peel District School Board, and I was part of the Halton District School Board. So Peel, everything in the late 70s and early 80s was all Commodore. So everything Commodore PET, 64, everything was Commodore. So my parents, that's why we had the 64 at home and other things. I remember my mom would occasionally lug a PET home, and I had at that time zero interest in it because I had no idea like what it did or what it was. But yeah, but so in our school board though, they had some kind of contract with Apple, so everything was Apple, right? And so my first. I learned how to like type on Apple IIs. We had those little red typing tutors as well. I can't remember what they were called, but yeah, we might see my brother in the background wandering by. Hey, it's Mike. Sorry. There you go. It's going by. Hey. It's live video for you. Yeah, times are tough. You got to live with your brother sometimes. So. Yeah, but like, yeah. So. Yeah, Apple II, then our school had another contract where we started to get Macintosh computers in the library, and then eventually in every classroom. So that was a big, I was really impressed by those, obviously, as primarily a Commodore user at the time. So yeah, it was quite the time.
Oh yeah.
People always, I get those comments like, "Oh, geez, your school board must have been rich." But I think our school board at that time was very, obviously had a lot of money put into it, and you could tell they knew computers were going to play a very important role, or somebody at least in the education system at that time knew they're going to be playing a very important role. So they really, made sure, like, it was almost, at that time, everything. I guess even though in like the early 90s, I guess the Apple II wasn't that cutting edge, but when those Macs came in, that was like cutting edge. Like nobody had like, a couple of my friends maybe had a Mac at home, but that wasn't a common thing at all. So, oh, sorry. There you go. All right. The camera might shake.
God.
There we go. All right.
I have never seen Ashton without his hat.
Oh, I just scratched my head.
First time, yeah.
I took it off.
The first time, yeah. Geez, I've never seen you with your hat.
I'm a hatted person.
We hung around earlier this year at the work event, and then we went out for supper. I never saw him without his hat on.
I fall asleep with my hat on.
All he needs now is the thick black rim glasses and a white button-down shirt, and everybody will think he's Jamie Heineman.
I get that a lot. Yeah.
All right, so I'm up next for the question.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I got two questions for you.
Actually, you're not up next.
Wasn't I?
Yeah,
Tell us about your educational software collection.
that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had like a bit, but I just got a whole bunch of it here. So yes, just your pretty typical stuff. Mostly like the ones that I use, like the ones that I love the most would be like some of the Apple II stuff, like Number Munchers, obviously. In Canada, we had Cross Country Canada. That was the big one. Like look forward to that every single day, like whenever we were allowed to play it. So yeah.
I remember the show that was Cross Country Canada that was on at like 1 o'clock.
Something like that. Yeah.
On CBC. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get all the Canadians who are nodding. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, but I have a whole huge box of, I said, a bunch of random software that I've got here. Here's one. Piece of cake math.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Does it come with the cake?
It may. 5 different multiple skill levels now with cake. Oh, wow. All right.
Oh, wow.
I would open it because if that cake hasn't been refrigerated, it's probably not good at this stage.
Oh, yeah.
It may no longer be cake.
Yeah. And I got, we were talking, I did a post somewhat recently about this Sticky Bear Math. I have a student that loves that program. Yeah. And so I got a bunch of these Sticky Bear Math and counting games. With the school pouch or the library card pouch there.
Oh yeah,
front, so.
Love it.
Mavis Beacon teaches blank.
Yeah. I've got a stack of those CDs somewhere. The Mavis Beacon CDs. We did the Almina typing program, the Quiet Aunt Zelda, QAZ, and then that was the one that we did. I remember there's like we would watch a video, and then either you'd be sitting at the Apples or you had these little typing tutor machines, and lots of fun.
I guess I'm going to date myself and say that my typing program was done on a typewriter. So
got a couple the Commodore Public Domain series software here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, history. Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
I love the art on it too. Really, pretty cool.
Very, very 80s.
There we go. And geography. It was funny. There's another guy there that our friend Justice, who puts on the World of Retro Computers. He's also got a channel here on YouTube as well. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the World of Retro Computer channel. But he had a whole pile of educational software, and he was basically, kind of giving it out to people. And there's another gentleman there that was saying that his kid has fallen in love with all these Commodore educational titles, so he got a whole bunch of them for his kid to check out. So yeah, it's alive and strong. Here's the classic Sticky Bear Math. There we go.
Yeah. in the US, there's and I'm sure elsewhere, there was a book series when I was a kid that was called Sweet Pickles, and Sticky Bear is kind of a spin-off of
After
that
that,
Sweet Pickles book series, where there would be kind of anthropomorphic animals that were represented each letter of the alphabet. And so
Mhm.
they would have a little book, and it was like a mail away thing where you would get like a book in the mail every month or something. And
Oh,
yeah, it was kind of a fun thing. I've still got quite a few of those and have recollected even more since I grew up, just because they're just kind of a fun part of a lot
Yeah.
of people that grew up in the 80s, part of their childhood. But I work in education as well, and I've got a reputation locally as being like someone who, hey, mom retired from the district and has all this computer junk and we have no idea what to do with it.
Mhm.
Or, hey, we're downsizing and we just want to get rid of these things. And so a lot of people reach out to me, educators, and they're like, help find like a good home for this. And that's been a very rewarding thing over the years, to be able to have somebody that's like, oh, I've got like this Apple II stuff, or I've got this Macintosh stuff, or some PC stuff, and just try to put it in the hands of young people. And I think so that's really what's great about some of these retro computing events, because there's lots of parents that are bringing their kids to
Mhm.
these things, and the kids are starting to get into it. And part of it is I want to please the parents, but now that I'm doing that, hey, some of the stuff is actually kind of fun. So
Yeah.
I think it's important what you do to kind of show how people can use these vintage computers still today to educate and kind of get kids excited about technology and all of that. So I think it's really, really cool that somebody thought enough of what you do on your channel to reach out and say, hey, I've got like a big box of stuff, like,
Mhm.
do good with this, make some great content. And, maybe if you can't specifically use it, find a good home for it.
Mhm.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like I think another big thing that parents seem to. I think it's like it's disconnected kind. Like it's not online. It's a standalone kind of thing. You have to sort of sit there in front of it and do it. It's not something you can take with you. It's not a big distraction all the time. I think there's that kind of plays what makes it kind of popular too with that. So
wait, you mean it won't run on my iPhone?
Maybe there's an Apple II emulator for your iPhone. You probably could.
Mhm. Oh, there's the Commodore PET emulator that Jim Orlando was there hanging out. I don't know if he's in the chat now, but yeah, he was hanging. It's always good to see Jim. But yeah, he has a Commodore PET emulator for iOS. I think that he was working on. I don't know if he ever released it, but yeah, if you check out his thing, Jimmo 9757 JIMO or Jimbo. Anyways, yeah, Jim Orlando, good dude.
Very cool.
He's also working on a port of Wolfenstein 3D for the PET. If anybody's checked that out yet, yeah. So
Nice.
That's hilarious.
in beautiful Petsky glory,
Yeah.
yeah, green Petsky glory, yeah. There it is, yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
It's funny too because I was like, "Oh, when is it going to be ready yet?" And he's like, "I was working on it this morning." Like that's awesome. Yeah.
There you go, Ryan. Everything is broken garage now has a working pet. So
Nice.
there's a new game for you to put on your pet, Ryan.
There's another guy there at World of Commodore who had a pet synth program, and he's making it. He's going to make it open source. Some kind of connection board, solder free. It sticks onto the Commodore PET's expansion headers, and you can hook it up to some kind of like MIDI synth. And so he had a MIDI keyboard hooked up, and you can play it right through the PET. So it's pretty cool, and even had like pitch bending and pitch shifting. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a very technical person when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm not sure, but he did it all himself, made all the hardware and all the programming. So it's pretty impressive. And so it's going to be coming out soon, some kind of PET synth interface. So for MIDI keyboards, that's really awesome. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you see that one, Rudy? That gentleman?
No, I didn't.
He was kind of hidden off in the corner. So
yeah, I didn't have much time. I had another appointment. So I just came and did the presentation, went around. I saw you, but you were busy talking. Didn't want to interrupt. And then I had to go. So, but yeah, I've heard of the project, and I think it's really, really cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess it is my turn, right? I don't want to jump Ron again. So what do you think the secret to your success with your YouTube,
YouTube.
YouTube shorts have been? Wow.
I have
100,000 views on some of
Yeah.
these folks.
I could
Crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like I think it's just the timing. I think at some point when I was because like I had posted remember previously you had to like put in the caption shorts. There was no sort of separate short
Yeah.
format kind of thing. So you sort of had to put it in with the regular videos. And I think at some point when they shifted to the other thing, they were really trying to push it. And I think just because I was one of the ones posting in the retro computer genre on shorts that I just kind of lucked out. I don't think there's anything particularly special. Like I'm a pretty basic user. Like I'm learning about these machines that I've grown up with, right? So like I'm learning from you guys. You're the guys that I go to like learn about this stuff, and Veronica and everybody, right? So it's I'm just kind of like the one of the regular guys here that so yeah.
Are you okay, Trina?
Yeah, my elbow bumped something and two laptops
I think I
fell
moved
down.
it too. Oh, sure. I'm so bad with this. Like, there we go. Okay.
All right, I have a question. So you have a big following on other platforms like TikTok.
Yeah.
How difficult was it to build that following?
It was the same thing. I think it was just because nobody was really doing a lot of retro computer posts, and it just kind of latched on, and so I think that's how I built that following there. But I really have no idea. Like, maybe it's just like I try to make the videos a certain. Obviously, you can see they're all a certain sort of formula, right? So maybe there's something to that, like I've really no clue. I think part of that thing I was saying, like, I would love to see some of the bigger names in the retro computer community posting shorts and things. So it's not like when I look up something, it's not my face that I see first. I'm like, oh God, why am I there? I'm like the last, I'm the last person that should be there. So yeah. But I think a lot of it's just because I was, sort of just doing it and posting so much of it that it just kind of latched on. I think the first 4 years ago, something on TikTok, I posted a video about a Windows 95 machine that got 3 or 4 million views. And that sort of seemed to, that's when everything kind of kicked in, and it's been building ever since. I've kind of sort of shied away from TikTok. I don't post as much there anymore. It's a strange place there. So try to avoid it.
It's definitely kind of its own thing.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of threats, especially for just like, we're going to block access to that in various countries and things like that. So a lot of other folks have really put the pedal to the metal to try to capture some of that same type of thing. And I think really all it's done is just made not like specific ecosystems of that, but it's just like there's now like a push where you feel like you have to post it multiple places, even though your audience exists in all three of those places. Everybody's just not trying to put all their eggs in one basket. So
and with and it's funny with TikTok, because a lot of people think it's like, oh, you must make tons of money, and TikTok I've made $1 maybe or something like that from the Canadian. They don't pay. You can't be part of their creator fund there. It's all, I think it has a lot to do with their payment methods, or, you get like gold coins that you transfer into. It's a really sort of sketchy thing there. So I can kind of see why, but yeah. So it's like, I just kind of it's not like I do music. That's what I do. This is just totally for fun kind of thing. But now that I've got this, people that watch it, I feel that I, got to provide some kind of stuff every once in a while. So
yeah, you feel a little obligated to keep watering the tree for people. Yeah, I get it.
And it's like, because there's so many people that everybody's so nice, and it's like I want to give back to the when people, I answer a lot of questions. That's mainly what I do, right? I just reply to a question and then post a meme or whatever, or something about it, kind of thing. Or so
keep watering that tree.
There you go.
You keep watering the tree.
It also seems like you were started this at the right time. before it kind of kicked off. So that helped as well.
Because I've been posting to YouTube probably since, I don't know, like 2001 or something like that.
Okay.
Like I've always, that's when I first started posting stuff, but it never, I'd say I was, at like sub 100 followers until a couple years ago, or like maybe just last year and a half or something like that. Then all of a sudden, that's why I said I think it's more just some kind of luck with the algorithm or something. So yeah.
Oh, and to answer Jack's question, stay tuned. I have a beige case. I'm going to do a short of me dancing with it, just for fun.
Oh no!
Is it going to be like Elaine on Seinfeld?
Pretend I never saw Seinfeld, so yes, it will be, because that's how I dance.
He's gonna look that video up and copy it.
Yeah, just do that dance. People will understand. 1 million views.
Perfect.
Well, and kind of along the same line as is TikTok and short subject sort of things. I mean, your YouTube channel has had great success leveraging the shorts format. And I know that there are still people today who do not understand how powerful shorts can be to help build an audience and grow an audience. But even with all of your success with that, you do occasionally put out maybe kind of sometimes they are just like, hey, here's a video of something that's interesting that has to do with retro computing. And it's sort of like a almost like a mixed media art project. Some of these. Do you have plans to produce any more long format videos? And if so, are there any in the pipeline right now?
I would like to, but I use my phone to record everything. I use iMovie to edit with my thumbs. So it's like, and I don't even have like really this, like the storage or like equipment. Like, I feel like if I was to produce longer form stuff, it would be kind of like just not very good quality, maybe, or I don't know, maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I could now. There we go. I see. I see that laptop. So maybe when I get that, Trina's working on a laptop for me. I don't have a working x86 machine that's not 20 something years old. So I can't even format an SD card to like fat, whatever, 30.
Yeah. Oh, Ashton's phone.
Oh no.
You spoke ill of the phone.
I badmouth the phone, and it's like it's probably my terrible. I probably shouldn't let this info out there, but my routers from I don't even know how it works. It's from 2004, so I don't know.
WRT54GL baby.
It's a vintage router. I get it. It's part of the whole aesthetic.
I don't have high definition cable. I still am on a grandfathered plan, and it's for something like watching sports is impossible because all the score bugs are blurry.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm a little bit behind at times. That's why I say the whole retro things it's not the best lifestyle sometimes.
Well, I really enjoy, you have a very, again, like we were talking earlier, you talked about how there's kind of a formula for the shorts where it's basically, you've got something picked out where it seems to be where it'll be kind of a fun question or like a fun prompt. And then you'll have a game or something or application or a specific machine that plays into that, and then some good music that accompanies that. I know a lot of people very much say it's just I'm gonna start, I'm gonna do it, I gotta get the right lights. I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna do it, I gotta get the right camera. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get the right green screen setup or whatever. You're very much a success story based on the idea of just getting out there and doing it. I think there's a lot of people that are they're waiting, but really what they're doing is they're just making excuses to not make fun things. So what would you tell those people that are just it's next week, I'm going to start next week? What would you tell those people?
I was the same thing. You gotta have to like. I'm a pretty like private person, but I'm like I don't go out a whole lot. Like these days, I kind of hang out at home and hang out at work, and that's pretty much it. I play during the summer. I play softball on Sundays, but other than that, like so yeah. I even had a hard time. Like I would make videos, but just be super hesitant to post them because it's like it's kind of embarrassing. I didn't even like at first. I didn't put my face in videos. I was sort of embarrassed. I don't know. I just didn't really, didn't think I wanted to be the focus of them. You just have to do it. Like you have to, go for it. That's it.
I did the same thing when I started doing my live streams. I didn't show my face. I just showed the computer.
Yeah. If so, I would say try that. Like if you're, hesitant about it, start showing your favorite machines and, like you said, the art angle. I think that's kind of not what I was going for, but I almost, at first I thought, oh yeah, I'm sort of like an artsy kind of like, nostalgia, whatever. Kind of thing. So there is some sort of like, art, thought into that, I guess. And I think the music, sometimes it takes me for like to produce, these 30-second videos. I've been working on one for like 2 weeks now because I can't get the voiceovers. I can't, I'm constantly rewriting things. So it takes me a long time to do it. But if other people are having that same thing, just, keep working at it. And then, eventually just try to put it out there, and you can always take it down too if you're really embarrassed at it and you don't like the way it's going. Just you can take the video down, right? So or maybe try to post it and like you could do it in private or something like that. Post it to the subscribers possibly. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but yeah, I have a face for radio. Yeah.
Can confirm.
Yeah, that one of the reasons it's so funny. Like a lot of people are like, "Where?" It's like they're like, "You should sit further back from your like monitor when you're like filming." It's like, well, to try to get in the frame, we have to like. I'm always like sticking my face, so it always looks kind of funny. And one of the reasons I stick my like face in at least once in all the videos is because a lot of my videos would show up on other platforms. Like other people are like reposting. So I'm like, as long as my face is in there, then it's like, haha, that's me.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the mustache watermark.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like totally, like I always like it's funny, it's like here comes a shot with just like random wide shot with this guy. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and some people ask me, they asked me if I have any formal training in television and editing and stuff. And I took like, your basic communications course in high school, and that's about it. Like I remember learning to edit using Adobe Premiere on the those like ruby red iMacs, and we had a G3 too. Everybody wanted to use that because it was really fast for rendering things.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. But that was actually really cool. Like in high school, and we had I got to experience and learn some of that stuff there. So take that, just like simple things like trying to avoid, like I don't like jump cuts. You know what I mean? I'm always sometimes it's probably too many, but I'm always like thinking of going from one angle to the next to a wide angle, things to kind of, think about it that way. I guess that's why it gets kind of an arty thing.
Yeah. No, it's really I like for as little production stuff that you put into it, it all comes together very cohesively because a lot of these, it's like a 30-second story.
Yeah, that's the other. That's like the other. I kind of like that format too because it's like you're trying to condense everything. Like this thing that I'm going to post sometime. It's the preview. It's a thing about just somebody asked about. I had an old Mac Plus open, and somebody made a comment. What's that like metal flask looking nuclear cooling tower inside of there? So and so I was like, the things about a CRT. So it's basically a 30-second dissertation, a quick little thing about CRT and electron beat. So I'm trying to fit this information, but have enough so there's like air gaps, so it's not just like overlapping. So it's a tough thing sometimes to cram all that into one really small sort of thing without missing too much or not focusing too much on one thing or another, kind of giving a nice, quick, brief thing. So it is a challenge. And I kind of like that. But I do I would like to produce longer. To be honest, I don't know how some of you guys do it. I think it's amazing that like, it's like I don't have like the patience to like do it because even I said filming a 30-second thing takes me like 6 hours sometimes of like moving the camera, moving it here. I didn't like that, and I'm like kind of putting clips together and editing as I go. It's a very, very strange process the way I go about things. So probably not recommended to do it that way, but you would never get anything done. But, yeah.
And that's why I like doing live streams because guess what? You
Mhm.
point a camera and you go, "Hi, welcome to my live stream.
Mhm.
Let's fly with the seat of our pants." And you
I've been thinking of doing that a lot more, but hopefully I haven't been doing it here. But I have a big problem with I get super nervous and I say like, and that whole I'm like, you know what I mean? And
Oh
you
no,
say
I'm from the
so.
Midwest, and
Mhm.
like is a big part of it. And if you watch my earlier videos, there's a lot of that. And there still is to
Mhm.
But
like,
then you get more likes.
yeah.
There you go.
I
I
just
hope I
said it.
have.
I just said it just a second ago, but
Yeah, you
it's
did.
one of the, yeah, it's filler words, and
Mhm.
that's a regional thing in a lot of places. So
Mhm.
I say like a lot. So
mhm.
I apologize, but I've said that a lot already. So.
No, it's okay because I just end up tending to swear a lot on my stream, so
Yeah.
that's my filler.
There you go.
Confirmed.
Well, I like when I do my videos, they're unscripted. I don't sit there and write a script and
Mhm.
do all that stuff. I have an idea what I want to do. I line things up and I just record. And if it's got too many likes or ums or whatever, it's like,
Mhm.
personally, I just rather just be myself and just
Yeah.
Mhm.
do
Yeah.
it. But whatever works for you. But
Mhm.
I mean, if you feel subconscious about it, it's people want to watch your content anyways.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I think
just
I'll
be
definitely.
yourself and do it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do some more streaming when I get my laptop. I'll probably do some more streaming. I'd like to do that kind of thing. And also, what I definitely need to get. Like, I don't even have like a capture way to some of the streams. That's another reason. Pointing a phone at a CRTs doesn't work so great. Like when I do my when I do my recordings, I have to tap certain parts of the screen, and I have certain techniques to get it to focus in on it. But live streams that you can't really. CRT doesn't like, so I'd have to get some kind of capture device, obviously, and set all that stuff up. Maybe Trina can help me with that in the future too.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Now that we'll talk about that computer in a bit. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing on the likes and ums, diction is not as big of a issue for me as just bad music. Like if somebody has a video, and it could be highly produced, if they get some kind of audio that like repeats a lot or something, I pick up on those things. But like people's visual sort of ticks and things like that, that's part of who they are.
Mhm.
And if you like what that person is producing and you like that person and their personality, you read past that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's
I've
like
actually-
hanging out. It's like hanging out with your friend, right?
yeah, that's what I want the videos to feel like.
Exactly. Yeah.
mhm.
Kind of actually to go back with what you said about we were talking about success with the videos. Another thing I think was when YouTube started, you could use their music library. I think that was a big thing because I wouldn't really post anything I would post on YouTube would immediately get flagged or whatever for copyright because I'm using popular music. But since I guess they did a contract with their artists
Yeah.
that you're allowed to use their music.
Yeah, and
So I think that's another thing.
the profit split on that
Mhm.
stuff too is pretty nice, because
Mhm.
previously it was really just that if they found your thing or whatever, it was 100% monetization went to whomever.
Mhm.
But I think that they have realized that a lot of this is borderline fair use on some of those things, or
Mhm.
where you're adding value to whatever this thing is and bringing eyes to this, so why not split? Or at the
Yeah.
very least, don't process a copyright strike on a channel just because there's a 3-second clip of a Rolling Stone song that
Yeah.
plays in the background of something. I know people are still fighting that, because you'll put things up, especially big channels have kind of got it figured out, where you put your video up, you have it unlisted for several days,
Mhm.
enough for the copyright system to take a look-see, and then it'll flag if it's going to flag
Mhm.
at that point. And then if it doesn't, then you go ahead and go live with it, or let whatever licensing stuff has to shake out. Because in the old days, like you were saying, if you put even if it was something as simple as I had a few videos where I showed off like a Star Wars screensaver for Macintosh, and it played like a really lousy MIDI rendition of the opening credits, kind of that opening fanfare from A New Hope. And that was enough to get the video flagged.
Yeah.
And so I had to go through and just like scrub that music out. And it's like, this is so silly. It's germane to what this product is. But if you were to fight that, you would have to wait 3 or 4 days for someone at YouTube to take a look at it and then get back with you. And then it has to go off for consideration by the copyright holder. And then by the time it's done, it's a month. They realize that if you're trying to make content, you're trying to get views, and you're trying to push something down the road, that you don't have that kind of time. And so in the past, it would be very much a situation where you would just have to self-censor. But now it is very, very nice that you can kind of leverage some of that other stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
I had a problem with my intro song in my videos is actually written and produced and by my brother-in-law, and YouTube flagged it as copyright. And it's like, well, let me talk to my brother-in-law. He said, no, you have all the rights to it. Right. Well, I don't know what's going on. And then after 2 days, it went away by itself. Like, okay, we made a boo-boo.
That was funny. I had to record I had a really old video of my band, but I was saying about playing with a headset and those backing tracks. So it was a recording of us playing the backing track, and same thing, it got flagged for copyright because it's like the song sounds so identical with all the backing tracks to the actual thing that it thought it was that. Yeah, so it was funny too because it's like my own band. I'm like, wait a second, like come on, I can't even I just took it down, or it might still be there. I don't know, but yeah,
they were probably thinking of Rudy's modern AMD channel, and
that's right.
Accidentally got you confused.
I still find occasionally I get these copyright things for some. I don't know if it's some artists haven't signed off on their stuff, but then again I look it up and it seems like that. So I don't know if it's just some kind of glitch. So I usually just take the videos down, then find another tune and then repost it, kind of thing. So
yeah, I think you do have to shop around a little bit on some of that stuff. I had something happen recently where I wish I could just remember off the top of my head what it was, but it was that they had a song and it was out in the YouTube, and it doesn't help that the tools aren't unified, because if you produce a short on so if you go through and you make a short using the YouTube app on your phone, which you have a lot of experience with, you go through, you edit, you've got your video and stuff in iTunes or in Clips, which Clips is really, really great for doing some of those edits and stuff. And then you upload it or you try to upload it through the app, and then you add your music and stuff. If you do that on desktop, there's no functionality to do any of that. And if you manually add the same thing that's available licensed through using the YouTube app on mobile, you'll get a strike, or not a strike, but you'll get a copyright notification that it's sorry, no, you can't do it. And there's no way to convert that into sharing. It's basically, it's just like, that's fine, they've got full whatever earnings on that, but it's very frustrating.
Sorry, it's like my cat's like just like climbing over a bunch of stuff so awkwardly. Kitty, it's because I moved some things around. It's hilarious. Oh, there you go.
Well, we do have some questions from the wonderful people in the chat. Some are germane, and half of them are Ryan of Everything's Broken Garage being silly. But I'm going to go ahead and ask him anyway because they're funny. Let's start with some of the ones that are germane. Now, I'm going to try to translate this one from One Bit Fever, James. If somebody else wants to jump into the starred questions and help me translate. What is the keeping up tally of who over who between Ashton and Commodore over the past 41 years? I don't know what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, say that again. Say it again.
What is the keeping up tally of who over who between Ashton and Commodore over the past 41 years?
I say keeping up with the Commodore. I think that's play on words. Are you keeping up with the Commodore?
Yeah.
I guess I have been keeping up. So there we go. Yes.
So, I'm going to declare you the winner. I have stated it. It is so.
And also, I've been keeping up with Ashton more than Commodore. And
yeah.
We haven't spoken. We really haven't spoken since work. So, anything.
I used to keep up with the Commodore, but I'm too tired to do that now.
The next question, also one from One Bit Fever Dreams. Has the Commodore computers made you yearn for programming your own demo scene stuff and falling short because assembly is hard and the idiosyncrasies of hacking C64 is deep, or no?
I said as I've seen my videos, my programming skills are limited to hello world and, typing things out of the like they said, yeah. So, I really am not, I have no, don't mind getting buzzes. I have no, background in that kind of stuff. So probably no major productions other than, typed out games with maybe a custom sprite here and there. So that's about it. I can do that. I can I know how to design, simple sprites.
Cool.
And stick them in games.
Curtis Boyle asks, I'm trying to rewrite this to make it sound a little bit easier. Have you gotten into electric drums and or drum machines? And if so, how quickly did you get into those compared to acoustic drums?
You know what? I've played electronic kits, but never really I've never owned one. I was thinking getting one for the school, but I've got a setup there. I've got some dampened drums with these low volume cymbals. So I've always just been an acoustic drum guy. Nothing against electronic kits. I think they're super cool. They're just really expensive. So, and I like vintage stuff, old drums and that kind of thing too. So yeah, I'm kind of more into that, but I would definitely, I wouldn't be opposed to playing them. But feel wise, if you're a drummer, even the most modern electronic drums, it's just, there's no substitute for a real drum, in my opinion. Maybe now, I don't know. I haven't tried the most top of the line modern electronic drum set, but to me, it's got to go acoustic, but nothing against them. So.
One Bit Feed for Dreams asks, what's your favorite game SID tune?
That's a tough one. It's actually one of my favorite childhood games. Is a game called it's a Moon Patrol knockoff called Battle Through Time. And it's got Beethoven's with a it's got that. So I always loved that when I was a kid. And just it's super kind of cheesy music, but just I love it. So that one, Battle Through Time's got some great tunes. I don't know, the one, if you play Ducks Ahoy, here's right here, Ducks Ahoy. This one's got a hilariously funny tune in the background. Trying to think chip tune wise, no major favorites, but I like it all. So we were just listening to some Cracktros and some demo stuff from was it Fairlight or one of those demos. That stuff's just amazing. I always any of the demo scene stuff's super cool. So I always dig that.
Cool. And do you have a favorite program for writing SID tunes? Have you done that kind of thing?
I've never really done the most writing I do is in Basic for actually we're talking about I've had with a couple of the kids we'd messed around with I did a thing where we programmed a Star Wars tune and I got some of the kids to type out some of that and to kind of help out, and then working on changing some of the notes and stuff. So that's basically, I've never really got too much, which I really should, because the nature of the SID, it's an amazing thing. So.
Oh yeah.
And finally, I've saved the last 4 questions from our friend and compatriot Riot of Everything's Broken Garage, because he is super funny. Yes,
he's from Newfoundland. Oh, cool.
Yeah. First off, he asks, Ashton, as a drummer, answer the age-old question: who is truly cooler, the drummer on a band or the bass player?
Oh, drummer for sure. Bass players. No, I love bass players. Bass players are super important. I always say that one of my teachers said to the bass player's job is to eliminate doubt. I always find it's there, as to where the harmony is going, and so I think bass is very important. But yeah, it's one of those funny things too. When people always ask, oh, so I remember a teacher asked, so who are you listening to? I'm listening to the bass player, and the bass player's well, I'm listening to the drummer. So it's that's who's listening to who, the chicken and the egg kind of thing. So yeah, yeah. Actually,
he also asks. Oh, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That's good. Oh, cat. Hi, cat. Random cat in background.
Kitty.
Hi, cat.
So her name is Donna Lee. So if anybody's familiar with that, it's a Charlie Parker tune, bebop tune. So a really crazy tune because she's an insane. So you'll see her probably jump up on the monitor. Oh, and almost fall. Oh no!
And there we go.
It's because everything's moved over because I've just brought everything back.
Hey, Mike.
So she's not used to that's oh, Kitty, come on back. She looks so mad. Come here.
If Mike
Come
is
on.
still watching, we have our own cat falling clip now. So
Did you guys get? She like knocked over. Where she knocked over Panic
poor
Pete.
thing.
Where'd he go? No, poor kitty. Come on back, kitty. Panic Pete.
There you go. Ryan asks as well, did you get the I think he means Ontario, Ontario School Board Icon computer powered by Unix in the late 80s or early 90s?
No, but I wish that would have been really cool. We had a telex at home. It was remember the telex like terminals. We had that for a while before the internet. Could like look up the like University of Toronto's like databases and like the Toronto Library stuff. That's no, never those cool. Even like what was the Nabu or Nabu?
Yeah.
Nabu? I can't, yeah, never. Yeah, Nabu. Yeah,
Nabu.
Nabu.
Do you have a Naboo?
No, I do not. It's like kind of missed out on all that stuff. I don't really like buy a lot of things. I just kind of have like my old stuff, and things kind of fall into my lap basically, or so yeah.
So
Rudy,
to everybody watching, that's a clarion call. Send him things.
Make a channel donation yesterday.
Yes.
I don't even know how to do that.
And Rudy, do you have a Naboo?
Yes, I have 2 of them.
Okay, so
Actually-
one of the 3 Canadians here actually has 2
That's
of them.
one.
Yeah, I
have
actually
a
wrote
Naboo. Still have
the
no
diagnostic manual for it too.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That's
The
awesome.
only
Rudy's
one.
done a lot of work on the Nabu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last 2 questions from our friend Ryan are both 100% jokes because that's the kind of person that he is. Number 1, please tell me you daily drive a classic car.
I wish I guess now it's almost kind of a classic. It's a Toyota Matrix, 2010 or something, 2010. So yeah, it's getting there, almost classic. But it's one of the first Matrix, one of the first car I think Toyota produced to have CarPlay, like and also it's one of the last ones that was made in Canada. So there's another one of those. That's a nice little provenance there. That one. So yeah, and it has a plug, so I could like I think I had an old video. I plugged in a Mac and was sitting at people are familiar with Hamilton. There's like it's like an outlook where you're looking over the escarpment. So I had a thing where I was like with my Mac, and I had a thing with the Commodore 60 or the SX64 where I had it kind of overlooking the city at sunset. So yeah, it's pretty cool to have that. I could retro computer in my car. I was thinking of hooking up like a printer or something, but I think that would probably be a big strain on like the alternator. Which is kind of funny because I did have to get my alternator replaced last year, so maybe that's something.
When I'm printing out banners, I can't go over 15 miles an hour.
My power steering goes out when I start the top Matrix printer.
The brakes fail. Yes.
I almost bought a classic. There was like the Wayne's World Mirthmobile. I had this idea of like somebody was selling like it was like a roached out one, but I was like, oh, I could like buy that and just like park it right out front of like my shop, and that would be like, or the school, that would be like a big cool thing. Everybody would come in and see this the Wayne's World car and be like, oh, cool. Never ended up doing that. Probably a good idea.
That's funny.
Did you say you're in Hamilton?
Yeah.
We need to talk after the stream.
All right. Actually, I was thinking I got a pile of software from H-Chug. If anybody's familiar with H-Chug, the Hamilton Commodore users group. So some old like BBS software stuff from H-Chug there. So we were thinking. I was talking with Paul. I can't remember his Paul's. He has like he was there selling little teensy ROMs, and he's got a bunch of stuff really cool. Can't remember what of his other projects, but anyways, we were talking about maybe getting something going here, quarterly or something, like a little hangout at because the school's got like we got lots of room. It's an old office, so each of the rooms has like Ethernet cables in between them and stuff. We could so it could like wire
have
some
a LAN
stuff
party.
Up. Yeah, have a LAN party, and they just have separate rooms too. One could be in the drum room, and one could be in the piano room, and so yeah, it's like so I got lots of space there, so. It'd be cool to have a kind of get together. Another inspiration was 8-Bit Show and Tell. Robin over there, he's got a really cool group going on in Thunder Bay, Ontario. So yeah, I'd love to have something local here that we could get together and hang out once in a while, do fun things.
That's cool.
And jam too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And now, the final most important question, sir. Did you inspire Tom Selleck's mustache?
Yes, I went back in time. My Commodore 64. I've always, as what it was like when I was like, I don't know, I always wanted like I have a mustache. When I was a kid, big fan of Mario. I don't know, maybe that's it.
Yeah, there you go.
There's another one too.
skin
Like,
on your cap, yeah.
if anybody's familiar with Canadian television, there was a show called Today's Special.
Yeah.
And Sam
Sam.
Crenshaw is my
Yeah.
like hero. So like I was
It's
actually
not to appear.
I have a video. I
Today's
have a video in the
Special.
works. That's one of those. It's like my pronouns are he, not him, because I could never be him, and it's me with the juxtaposition to Sam Crenshaw.
Yeah.
Because he had he remember he had used the Apple II, right? That was his
Mhm.
computer. He had that.
Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
order things and
Mhm.
remember. So yeah, and so
cool.
Sam and my other big influence. Yeah, Sam and Mario. Basically, that's.
I do love Today's Special. I watched
Mhm.
the crap out of that as a
That was
kid.
my favorite show.
And
Yeah.
it's it was sort of like Mannequin for kids.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, so sorry if anybody's not familiar with the show. It was about a department store that at night, the late night staff would hang around, and there was a mannequin that would come to life when you put his magic hat on.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And it was a flat cap.
Mhm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you're hitting two things. You just need a small mouse as a friend.
I can even
and you're all
I can even
set.
talk like Sam. Hey guys, it's Sam.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
And then Ryan's also asking perhaps a touch of red green as well.
Oh, well, being from Hamilton, it was originally, if anybody's familiar with CHCH, our logo. Well, now it's not really, it's a shadow of what it used to be, but yeah, it used to be, the Red Green Show used to be filmed right here in Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, did it
Mhm.
really?
Yeah, that was the original before it moved to the CBC building in Toronto. So
Mm,
Yeah. my folks went to a couple tapings of it. So yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
nice.
Cool.
It's very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, big fan. Actually, I remember my dad was big into video production. His when he was a teacher, he had a school, Gordon. Actually, where this Commodore 64 came from here, Gordon Graydon Senior Public in Brampton. He ran the television production program. His classroom, he had it all set up so you could pull curtains around and it would make it like a studio. He punched a hole, like drilled a hole through the wall to run cables, and then his fellow teacher's classroom in the corner, he had his whole the control room set up separately with the cue card, the little camera where you would film graphics and things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you had and I
Neat.
remember I wish I had some of the videos that I saved. I used to for projects make videos that were television productions where I would act like kind of like a red green character or do some kind of like miming thing for like a science fair project. I did remember getting an egg to get pulled into a bottle using a vacuum or using like a match as a vacuum. So I did a whole thing with that. So yeah, it probably comes from there. My dad was big into television production. So
Nice.
Cool.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Well, Ashton,
Well-
this is. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Ron. You're good.
Oh, I was just going to say this is kind of the part in the show when we kind of shift over to our second segment, which is
Mhm.
talking about recent gets and things we're working on and stuff like that. And we always invite the guests to stay and take part in that. But whatever your schedule allows, if you want to stay, it doesn't maybe run, but like another 30 minutes. Do you want to?
I can hang out. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm down for hanging.
Cool.
Let me check I just want to make sure I have.
Oh,
cut out-
Boyd.
Yeah.
Ashton Boyd.
Yeah, I'm down for hanging out for sure. Yeah. I'm going to get a Christmas tree. That's one good thing about I work mostly in the afternoons. So I'm getting a Christmas tree for my folks in the morning. I go out to a farm and I FaceTime them because they can't really get out anymore. So I FaceTime them and they pick out a tree and I cut it down for them.
Nice. Nice.
It's all nice.
Yeah.
So people can find you online, of course, on YouTube at Ashton's Retro Computer Room. And I think Ron just popped up your Twitter account there, Ashton Norman 6. Is there any other places people can follow you? Do you want to give your TikTok out? Do you want to?
Yeah, there's TikTok. It's the same thing. Ashton's Retro Computer. I think it might be Stunner, SHTUNNER. It's a nickname of mine. So yeah, TikTok. I'm on Facebook, but nothing really. Like you can check out my I have the Hilltop Music Academy and say hello there. So yeah. but that's about it. I don't like I think some of my stuff's on Instagram, but I didn't post it there. And then also, yeah, there's some other channels on Facebook that are, if you look up anything that says Ashton's Retro Computer Room's not me. There's somebody that's impersonating me over there. So
Oh, dude.
yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that
So-
reminds me. I need to set up a new Blue Sky account.
I have to do that too. I don't really use Twitter. I don't use it as much. I use that to ask questions of smarter folks to get things working.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this is the wonderful place where we move on to what's going on in the guests world. But before we do that, I do want to thank you, Ashton, for being on. It's been
thanks.
super, super fun.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine.
Talk to you and listen to your escapades with retro computing. It has been super fun. So now we have the Gets section, and we'll go ahead and we'll ask you to, Ashton, while we have you here. The Gets section is where we talk about the cool new thing we got recently. What's that one cool new thing? So is there some cool new thing you got recently that you want to, I don't know, tease the public that I might have a short about later or something like that?
Well, I've already made a few of them actually about it. I got recently, I couldn't believe how generous the student's parent at my school has an Atari 400, his childhood Atari 400. And he's like, it's been sitting in my garage. I never do anything with it, so it's all yours. And he just gave me that with a bunch of games and the cassette recorder and all stuff. So that's the really cool thing. It's got an aftermarket keyboard that was purchased locally.
Oh, wow.
So it's the full travel keyboard.
Yes.
So it's pretty
So
cool.
you can use
Yeah, cherry keyboard. You know what's kind of funny though? I did re-swap it for the touch one's not too bad. Like it's pretty quick. Like it's very it's very, very responsive. But here's the problem though. So the 400 was working great. Perfect working order. I was at the World. I think Trina might remember this. I was at World of Retro Computing, another thing that we have locally, and so it was running all day. And then I remember a few kids saying they're like, "Oh, this cartridge doesn't work. This cartridge doesn't work." And I didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, "Oh, it's probably just the cartridge is dirty or something." And then lo and behold, they weren't working. So I cleaned them. Still didn't work. Pulled the thing apart, like checked everything, reflowed all the cartridge pins and everything, still didn't work. So for some reason now it's got this odd fault where it won't play certain cartridge games. So if anybody knows anything about Atari 400s and then also things in BASIC, it acts kind of strangely. It won't do like random number generation and it won't do other weird stuff like that. So any Atari people out there?
Paging Sloopy.
Send me a message.
Yeah, right?
Where's Sloopy?
If anybody's heard of that. So I was almost tempted to get somebody had an Atari 400 at the World of Commodore, and I was tempted to get it so I could try to start swapping
Just
out
to
things
have it,
to swap out things to see what's wrong with it. That's my diagnostic process. is just
Everybody's
swapping
saying
out
it's
stuff.
bad RAM in the chat, and
right.
that's kind of
Yeah.
my guess too.
But the funny thing is when I do the RAM check and everything, it comes up as the full 16K or whatever's in there. So but maybe that's just not it's not only recognized.
Not
So,
an
yeah.
in-depth memory test. Most of them are.
Closest
Could be a
RAM.
CPU problem too.
Mhm.
What you need to run is MemTest 86 Plus.
No. Sloopy's saying it's not bad RAM, so he's wondering which carts.
So minor 2049er doesn't work. I think it's like Centipede kind of locks up. Star Raiders locks up. Buck Rogers locks up. That kind of thing. But like I can't remember. Caverns of Mars works fine. Certain programming stuff in BASIC works fine, but then certain ones like I tried to do one of those the random maze, the one-liner maze wouldn't work. But then I did a thing with what is it? One of those plots, like plotting a curve thing, and that seemed to work. So
Does
Star Raiders
Raiders?
does not work. No,
Okay.
it I think it turns on but doesn't play. It just locks up as soon as you press like to start the game, like reset or whatever. Yeah, so it's very odd. So I thought I could have sworn it was like maybe something with just the pins aren't aligned or something like that, maybe because of certain cartridges, but just the fact
and the cartridges were working before.
yeah, everything was 100% working. And then, but then, as I said, the thing that really kind of tipped me off is that BASIC is acting strangely. So
Yeah, that's the weird part of me.
and well, BASIC is in the cartridge form too, though, so it's not in the.
Oh, right.
So maybe it still does have something to do with that, or something to do with the cartridge. Needs further diagnostics because that's
Cool.
Mhm.
Whatever those
Yeah, so-
diagnostics are.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
to totally
Cool.
go away back. And so I can't really. I could show you. So if I could turn it around here. Sorry, excuse the mess. There's a Atari 400 right there next to the, so you can see the aftermarket. Nice
Sloopy
aftermarket
is-
keyboard.
Yeah, Sloopy's requesting that you reach out to him. He's very knowledgeable on all this.
Cool, yeah.
And can probably help you get
Do
us.
you
Yeah.
do you use Discord?
No, I do not. I think I have the app, maybe, or something. It might be. Yeah, I'll have to sign up for
We'll
it. or
figure
something.
out a way to
Yeah.
get you guys connected.
Cool.
Cool.
Because I have really no way to diagnose it other than like a multimeter. So that's pretty much it.
So what have I haven't really got anything. I've been getting things for other people. I got
Mhm.
Tech Ambrosia, a GTX 970,
Mm.
Fancy.
which we did a whole whack of testing today. And Ashton, you and I need to talk about this laptop.
Yay! I think, Pat, I haven't had one of those since the 90s. Yes.
Yeah, well, this is not IBM.
Oh well.
It's not running Win95. I'm sorry.
Windows 2000 was a lot. That was great operating system.
It's not running Win 2000 either. It's
Actually,
running Win11.
my friend Jorge said he was running Windows 2000 until like 2010 until he just like couldn't anymore. So that was fun.
And the weird part is this actually has a better motherboard in it than what is it's not. It says T490 on the outside. It's not.
Sweet.
So you got a better motherboard inside of it. So
Mm.
yeah, ooh, fancy.
I'm looking forward to it.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and but we're going to talk about getting that to you after the stream.
Thank you. Thank you, IT department.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
If anybody
Welcome to
needs
retro tech support.
Yeah, it's like-
in modern, by the way, just to throw it out there, I am now working for kind of a second-hand e-waste, like the person buys e-waste and then refurbs it. That's where this laptop came from. If you're looking for something, let me know. We have rooms full of this stuff. So that's how.
Any retro stuff?
Yeah, both new and retro.
Cool.
So
I'm driving up there now.
okay,
I'm on my way.
okay.
I have a Honda Civic 2017.
Yep.
A hatchback.
Okay.
So you calculate how much I can fit in the car and just put it on a pallet, and I'll be
tonnage.
Done and done. But yeah, so honestly, if people need to reach out to me, go to trinastech.com. It's where all my Linkamadoodles are. And
Linkamadoodles.
yeah, you contact her, she'll get you some stuff, and then you'll have recent gets. See how it
Exactly.
works? See?
yes,
Rudy.
your PowerBook. Ryan, just to give you an update on that PowerBook. For those of you who aren't Canadian, Canada Post is on strike. UPS's stupid prices to ship things. It cost me what would cost me around $35 Canadian, or
They
sorry.
could have absolutely no incentive to raise their rates right now at all, could they?
No.
Yeah.
There's no way.
What I ended up I had to ship a motherboard to somebody in Quebec, which for those of us Canadians at least, we know how close that is. The board normally cost me 30 to 35 through Canada Post, 67 plus through UPS to ship the same board.
For our American friends, it's $2.56.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, Ryan, the laptop is still at work, and it's gonna sit there until Canada Post gets their. I did get an email. They are trying to get back to work soon, so they made an offer.
Cool. Rudy.
Well, the only recent gets I got is I got this new Dead Test cartridge, the Des
Test
Des
Max.
Test
Yes.
Max.
Nice.
Retro Rewind.
Rich, those guys are awesome.
Yeah, I got that today at the show. Really nice people there, and I'm looking forward to using it on a couple of 64s. The cool thing with this cartridge is that when you're running dead tests, it doesn't require a lot of chips to be working to make it run. and it does a proper memory test. So I'll be doing a video on that. I'm really excited about that. And I got my new little tiny boards in. These little tiny boards. They're basically for the Commodore Super Pet. There's two boards usually on the newer models, and there's like you pull the CPU out of the lower board and you pop it up on the higher board. And then this would there's a cable that plugs into the CPU socket and it runs to the second board where the CPU lives. Now that cable is very it's a hard plastic and the pins tend to break and the cable tends to rip a little bit. So I'm designing a replacement for that, and a fan to help cool it down the Super Pets because they run super hot. That's what they call Super Pets, I guess. I don't know. And they end up burning out the ROMs on them prematurely because it gets way too hot. So I'm working on that, and that's pretty much for my guess. And I got my hair cut.
Hey, looking good.
By the way,
That's the opposite of a get, but okay. Go ahead.
You forgot to mention the coolest part of that cart, that diagnostic cart that you got.
Oh, the coolest part, yes.
Yeah.
So one of the coolest thing was when I was there. Actually, I sent them an email saying I'm going to be at the World of Commodore. Will you be there? Because I, Canada Post is broken. I can't get it shipped. Would you be there so I can pick one up? And the guy who designed the cartridge was there, and he actually signed my box. So that was pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and
I'd be careful how you word that, Rudy, about people signing your box. The guy signing your box. Seriously.
This is the only box I have. So he signed it. So that was pretty. Amazing. And I'm really excited about this. I know there's a couple other big guys. Jan Beta and Adrian did a review on it, and it looks really cool. So this is going to help me with my 64 repairs. Now, also the gentleman who created this, it will be creating ones for the 128 and the pet. Mm-hmm. And I told him, well, if you're doing it for the pet, let me know because I have several, so I can test it out for you. And that is it.
Veronica, unfortunately, there are no functional pets. Sorry, and no compact portables. Jesse.
I owe those guys at Retro Rewind a dinner because they bought me tacos last time we were at World of Retro Computers. So that was nice. Nice if those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they're nice people there. Yeah,
really cool guys.
Yep.
They'll help you fix anything too, which is awesome.
Yeah, they bought us all tacos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was like good. Yeah, that was good food.
It was really good.
Cool. Ron.
Hey, let me show you my new machine that I got. It's gonna take just a second. I gotta reach down here and get it. It's very heavy. Okay, so I got this new MirrorBook Air. It's the latest laptop from Apple. Assuming that you feel that is a legitimate Apple logo on the device. Yeah. So let me go ahead and slip it out of its special carry case here.
Ooh.
I haven't taken the protective film off.
Protective film off of the logo that isn't on square.
Yeah.
It's all tilted.
But it's got ports, perhaps.
Yes.
On both sides.
Ultra
perhaps.
mini.
But look at that. It's got all the regulatory information, so you know it's legit.
That reminds me, I bought an iPod way back in the day. It was not an iPod.
There you go. Hey, you can see chat now. Look at that.
Ooh.
Isn't that beautiful? It's so funny because the box and everything says MirrorBook Air, but the actual machine says MacBook Air inside. So, but it is a tiny little mirror, compact, to kind of stick in your purse or whatnot. But it looks like a little thing. But what's really neat about it is it's perfectly sized for American Girl doll stuff. So if you remember, kind of in the 90s, Apple released it's like a PowerBook, or not a PowerBook, but like a Power Macintosh 5400, kind of like one of the last color all-in-one machines with CRT. And it's perfectly sized to sit on the little desk next to that other machine. So I don't know if that's what they had in mind or something, or if this was like another product that some enterprising person in China decided to turn into a Apple mirror book. But here we are. So yeah,
So does it run the M1?
it's
The
yes,
Mirror One processor?
the Mirror
One
processor.
processor. Yes.
Yes, it does. The other neat thing, actually, that I've been playing around with is Wooden Gamer sent me a machine, and it's kind of in pieces over here on the desk. But let me just grab it real fast. It's a PowerBook 180C, which is itself not all that interesting. But if you know anything about PowerBooks, you've probably already noticed something that's different about this one. It's actually the bottom plastic is blue. And there seems to be a lot of disagreement online about what this meant. If this meant that this was some sort of demonstration unit, or if this was a device that was released specifically to developers, or if it meant that it was refurbished or something. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information out there. There's a lot of speculation for sure, but not a lot of hard facts about what that blue bottom actually means. But
you should talk. Sorry, Ron. You should talk to people who made the Mirror Mac.
They probably know.
They probably,
but yeah,
probably made there.
There you go.
Actually,
Ryan just cracked it. It's the blue SCSI edition.
Actually, I didn't even notice. It's been there the whole time. Oh my gosh. But no, it's just sort of an interesting thing. I've been trying to do some research, trying to figure out what's going on with that. But that's it.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm
Hi,
Joe from Joe's Computer Museum.
Hi, Joe.
Recent gets. I too got a new computer recently. It's this tiny little Macintosh that, it's the perfect size for Micro Joe right here to use.
Micro Joe.
Sit here and just kind of use.
Yeah.
Ron shipped me something recently. He's like, Joe, you need to have this.
Mm-hmm.
Other things. Yes. Gets. So I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. So a lot of you know that I've been trying very, very hard, very slowly to reverse engineer the TechScan MSI CompuVid Spectrogen 4B thing, that titling thing for 1980s cable companies for public access. And one of the things is the ability to get local weather data out of a weather station on the roof of your cable building, right? It's supposed to have this special card to do it. And I got that reverse engineered and all of that, but I would love to have one of the cards, because wouldn't it be cool if I could, I don't know, create a new version of that card? So if you wanted to connect an actual real weather station to one of these old units, you can do that. Well, one of the folks over on the character generator Discord server set up by Jesse, who's the person who knows the most about all these stuff, who I met at VCF Midwest this year. Freaking awesome. He was over there with Tech Night and with the Weather Star stuff. The one person who had the one known copy of this card to exist sold me their entire Spectrogen with the card in it. So I'm now the proud owner of a Spectrogen with the freaking weather card. So maybe we can actually reverse engineer that. So that's kind of my recent get, among like lots of other silly, stupid things that don't really matter. But I thought that was really cool.
Joe, sorry, will that be available on your jcm-1.com?
There is this website that might be available on at some point. It might take me 6 years until I get to the point of being able to do it.
But it's okay. The weather doesn't change much between now and then, so that's
fine. Yeah, I know it's fine. Temperature's not going to go up by like an average of a degree centigrade per year. It's fine. That's all. But yeah, that's
Very
been a
cool.
recent get. So
Nice.
projects.
By the way, congrats on getting the card.
Yeah. The gentleman, I had reached out to him from that Discord. Gosh, it was a year ago or so. Because a year prior to that, he had joined the Discord and posted pictures of his unit and had the weather card, but nobody else on the Discord noticed. And I saw it, and I'm like, dude, you have the weather card, you know? And he was wanting to thin out his herd of stuff recently. And so he's like, you reached out to me before. I know you want this thing. Do you want this thing? So we put together a deal to get that. So it's really cool. I may have also purchased another Spectrogen off of eBay for way too much money. That is relatively rare and undocumented. So that's another thing too. So apparently this is my other side thing is these Spectrogens. I'm going to be known as the Spectrogen guy, just like I'm the Apple III guy or whatever.
Okay, so Ryan's come up with a suggestion about getting the Joe clone.
The Joe clone.
clones.
Hey, you know,
But so what I recommend before you start reverse engineering that card, reverse engineer yourself so you can clone yourself.
My answer to that is my husband himself can barely tolerate one of me, let alone multiple me's. The world is not ready for multiple.
But you just lock the
It's
clone.
not.
Just lock the clone in that back room you have there.
You just lock him in there.
Yeah.
It's like, he's got a hamster bottle in the corner.
It'd be like the episode of The Simpsons when it happens, but they all become progressively not as smart. Remember that? It's like,
or you do what Cork did in the episode where they went on strike, where Rom and all of them went on strike, and you just use holograms.
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
See, I live in the United States. We're not as advanced as you up there in Canada. You guys got teleporters and all of that stuff already. So, like, if I move up there, I might be able to get access to that technology.
What was the one thing we don't have? One thing we don't have is forks. We don't have forks in Canada. I saw like a post about that. It's like, no forks. Nope, don't use forks.
All you listen, Joe. You and I, we just get married on paper, and come on up.
Sure.
There you go.
Sure.
Healthcare. And all that.
Yeah, there's healthcare.
JCM will have a new meaning then. Joe Clone Machine 1.
Yeah, there you go. Joe's clone machine. Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Yes. That's awesome.
Cool.
Anybody got any cool projects that they're working on?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Wants to go? Yeah.
Check this out really quick. I got so I'm gonna at World of Commodore. I picked up the very first game that I ever played when I was a kid. So I'm gonna do a post about that.
Oh,
French Canadian Mimi, a French Canadian learning game. There's an English portion to it as well. Yeah, like really simple. You just kind of press a key, and you press the letter D, and that little ant does a little dance or plays a little song. So yeah, look forward to making a video. Some really good memories of this one.
I don't remember this game.
It's like it's for like 2-year-olds. It's a very like I think it even says like 2-3-year-olds because it's you can't really just press kind of mash keys and it does stuff. Right, and so yeah, that's yeah.
I remember when I was working at a brick and mortar store, somebody came in and said, "You don't have like an old Pentium 4 laptop or like something that's running Win95?" And I'm like, "That you want to sell?" And I'm like, "No, we don't." And I'm like, "Why?" And he said, "I just want to give my 4-year-old a computer so he stopped breaking mine."
Curtis. Yes.
Curtis, I have seen your news segments. No, you can't complete it. You take forever doing everything.
Projects.
I really have none. Oh, I do. I do have a project coming up, and I might do a live stream on Thursday. Somewhere on my bench. Please hold. This is going to be a Steve moment. We had this come into work, which is the Apple version of this card.
Sorry, you said please hold, so I played my hold music.
Oh. So yeah, so it's the Apple version of this card. So I have a Mac Pro 5.1 that I'm going to slap this in and see if it works. It's going to be kind of a project off work time, but yeah, find out if it works. That's about it. Nothing really.
Rudy, I know you have projects, sir, but the question is whether or not they're ready. Yeah, are they ready to talk about publicly?
Yes, this
Stop switching. I'm doing it, Ron. Stop clicking the buttons.
this is the Mac SE Peaker board. This is version 3.8. The new one is coming. Actually, it's going to be here tomorrow, and it's going to be shipped off to Gut Bomb to do final testing. So the new version, this current version, it's actually a pretty big board. It's almost the size of a SE30.
Nice.
But it has all the additional buffers required on it, and I'm really excited about it. This version had a small trace issue, which has been corrected, so that's going to be coming in this tomorrow, and I'm going to send it off to Gut Bomb, and then
for folks who might not know, what does it do?
Oh, okay. So what you do is you have a connector here that plugs into your Mac SE30. So it just, basically pops in. And then we have LEDs light up on here. It has all the address line, the data lines. Sorry for the camera here. And additional support lines that are all feeding through the slot, called the PDS slot. So if you're doing troubleshooting on your Mac SE, it gives you all that information, including it gives you this is all real time monitoring of the voltages. So your plus minus 12 and your plus minus 5 volts. So they all come up on here. And then the other cool thing about it is that there are, it's not really coming up on here, but maybe there are points on each LED that you can actually take your I'm looking down, I should be looking up, that you can take your oscilloscope and you can actually monitor and measure the signal. So if you see a light just flashing kind of at a wrong interval, well, you can actually take your oscilloscope and put it on there and see what's going on. Like, should that signal be is it showing correctly or not, whatever. So it's a board to help diagnose the SE30. And it is additional support provided by Jason, aka Gut Bomb, and then Steve Mac 84 will be doing a live stream of assembling this, because this is pretty much assembled except for a couple of components, and he'll be testing that out. And then so that's coming up. Hopefully that this is the final release. I believe it will be, and then if it passes testing, it's going to be at the joesclonemachine1.com.
Question for those of us in Canada who don't want to have to pay the shipping from the US to Canada.
It's too bad.
It's too bad. It would be cool to have a Canadian distributor, though.
Yes, I could. I just contact Joe, and then Joe can let me know. Say, hey, we got someone in Canada who wants to buy it, and then I can.
Cool.
We can work something out and go from there.
Cool.
I also have a friend who sells a lot of the Amiga board, what they call add-ons and so on. He's got a site that I might be maybe using him for Canadian stuff, but really I like everyone to go through Joe. So go there, purchase one, add Joe Clone Machine 1 to it, and then Joe will let me know. We can send it out to you, and we don't pay the additional shipping. And
there's also this website called Computers with Pride.
Well, there you go. That's another one too, right? So yeah, we'll have to work that out. But the first thing, I got to get this board to Gut Bomb so he can test it, because I don't have an SE30. I've done all this work, and I do not have an SE30 computer. The only thing I have that's even close to it is a Color Classic. So if this works, then I'll be creating one for the SE, and probably at the same time for the LC computers and other, depending on what is most popular. Because I know that the SE30 is quite popular machine, and I thought this would be kind of cool. But the fun thing with this project is that I do not own the machine, so I have no way to verify that it's working. So we've been keeping Canada Post employees and happy by shipping stuff to them from.
Well, not anymore because they're on strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just buy a plane and start, drop shipping.
Airdropping them.
Just push it up the back and.
Hey, just a random side thing. Rudy, did you see, I can't remember his last name, Paul at World of Commodore. He had one of those, a Commodore, he fully made it himself, the boards and everything. It's a Commodore hard drive that uses a blue SCSI as its, because it's SCSI. Yeah, so he did the board himself. He even made an enclosure for it, resin printed it. And yeah, so
check that out. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, really
Rudy,
cool.
you already have a suggestion to make one for the Color Classic.
Yes, I have a Color Classic, so I'd like to make one for myself. So I can test my own stuff.
Well, you would think that like that board would work in Color Classic, LC, LC2, LC3, potentially the LC475, and a bunch of different later Performa models of that. And also later PowerPC machines that have backward compatibility with the LC PDS. So just a mess of machines.
If they're backwards compatible, then this should work 100%. All the other systems that have to verify that all the data that's coming out of the pins are correct. This has 128 pins, where I think the SC only has 96. So there's going to be some changes to it, but yeah, if this goes well and people are interested and like it, why not? I mean, but I eventually will make one for the Color Classic, because I do have a Color Classic, and I'm doing a lot more practice on surface mount soldering. And so I want to, tackle doing some SE repairs myself.
Cool.
The end.
Neat.
The end.
See.
Okay, hold on. I got a PCB
Ron is
project.
also working on a lot of things.
I gotta reach down here and get it because it's really okay, here we go. So if you're familiar with of course I don't have one sitting here, but anyway, if you're familiar with the Mac PicoVid boards, Mac PicoVid combo that we sell over there at jcm-1.com, this is a new board that basically adds compatibility for the 128K, 512K plus. This is not the final revision of the board. This one does work, but you do need it turns out that there are a couple of different lengths of the cable. So I've got another design that should be in this week that will let me, that'll work with a broader range of machines. But the idea is basically the J12 that's on a Mac SE's motherboard or an SE30's motherboard, just ploop, pops in there. And then you have just a pin out that goes straight to the type of connector that a 128 512 Plus uses. So very shortly we'll have some adapter boards in there. And then Gutbomb is actually working on a version of the case, the SE Mini case, which I guess will be a Plus Mini or something. I don't know. So if you are interested in doing one of those fun projects, you should go over to jcm-1.com. He's got the printer to kick these out as a single piece now, which was a big part of the project. We were waiting to kind of come together, but that's really it.
Cool.
Very cool.
Welcome to Retro Repair Roundup, where we spend 30 minutes about all the things that Joe sells on his website.
Joe's
speaking of that, my last and certainly least, projects, Joe, things. So the biggest project that I'm still trying to get kicked out is the Diamond Trackstar. I finally got that all redrawn as a schematic in KiCad, which allowed me to redraw it over top of the original board design in KiCad, so I can do a full true KiCad based schematic spin of the board, just to make sure that I have the schematic correct. I have a little bit of cleanup, and I should be able to get one of those boards in, so I can build that, test it. If it works, then I can do what I really, really want to do with the Diamond Trackstar. And that is completely redesign it using as many surface mount components as possible. So it'll be faster to build, be less expensive to build, be more reliable. And yeah, so I can get them out to people better and faster.
Yeah.
Because if you saw it, it's gigantic. This board would take 14 quadrillion years to build each one. And it's like, no, if I can have robot make, I'll have robot make. Yes, make think. And there's other things too, like it's got tons of dynamic RAM here. So I'm also working with my a couple different friends, both Sloopy and Androda, to help me figure out how to convert dynamic RAM back to static RAM circuit. If I'm able to do that, I think I should be able to, because the CPUs are direct, so I'll be able to bypass all that dynamic RAM circuitry and just connect it. But if I can do that, then I can replace all of these with more modern or more available static RAM chips, which will just be easier and more, good. So that's lots of plans down the road.
Love it.
Other than that, just keeping the dream alive, keeping the website going, and keeping my friends' products in stock so we can keep the old computers living another day.
Nice. Yay.
Cool.
Joe's Clone Machine 1. All right.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I think we've reached the end of our show. A little bit longer one tonight, but we've had a lot of fun talking with everybody and talking with Ashton. It has been super duper fun. Mr. Ashton, sir, would you like again to remind everybody where they can find you?
Sure. You can find me right here on YouTube at Ashton's Retro Computer Room, on TikTok at Ashton's Retro Computer Room. On Facebook, not really. Don't look that. Yeah, I'm on there. It's Ashton Norman or Hilltop Music Academy. If you're in the Hamilton area and you want music lessons or just want to stop by, give us a call or shoot us an email. You're more than welcome to, for sure.
Cool. Trina.
Hey, go to trinastech.com. You can find all the linkamadoodles to figure out where I am.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also find me here on the YouTube at Trina's Techno Babble.
Rudy.
Rudy's Retro Intel at the YouTube near you.
Yeah.
The end.
Rudy.
The end. The end. Okay, bye, Rudy.
Rudy.
Poor Rudy.
Ron.
Hey, it's Ron from Ron's Computer Videos. You can find out everything that I'm working on over at ronscompvids.com.
And I will speak up for our wonderful co-host Javier, who could not be here tonight. Javier is busy partying in Mexico. That
Like
sure,
it's 1999.
yeah. He's like, okay, so we're just gonna go where it's warm and there's no snow and cold. So that's what he did. But you can find Javier Adventures in Retro Computing on YouTube, also known as Hobmaster. Be careful with how you look that up on the internet. JAV means the other things. You can also find him at 8bittees.com and 8bitstuff.com. So check out Javier's stuff. He makes really cool t-shirts, and he's making mice for Lisas and joysticks for Apple IIs, doing lots of cool stuff. So check out Javier. And again, finally, the absolute least, the lowest of the low, the bottom of the barrel, the cream of tartar that's left over from winemaking. It's me. I'm Joe from Joe's Computer Museum. You can find me at jcm-1.com. If you want to follow me on the socials and stuff, all of my links are there on my website. Just go to the website and click the little buttons at the top or the About Me at the top and do the thing. Or if you want, cool trinkets like Pico Micromax or Pico Gus audio cards or Blue Scuzzies or replacement keyboard coders for your Apple II or your Apple III or any number of really, really cool stuff to keep your old computers, you can also go to jcm-1.com and pick those things up.
It's true.
Well, that's all we have for tonight's show. Again, thank you, Ashton, for being a great guest. Thank you for
guys.
everyone. Yeah. Thank you for everybody who stopped by and listened to us chatter on for nearly 2 hours. It has been super fun. Remember to hit the like button and do the subscribe button. And we will see you in approximately 2 weeks, where our next guest will be just us hanging around.
Yeah.
And
It will
everybody
be-
you in chat hanging around while we just have a little merry Jingle Fest Eula Palooza holiday episode. Electric Boogaloo. Yes.
We paid for the copyright, Joe. You have to use the word.
have to
You
s-
have to
I
use
have to
the
say
name
the
of the
whole thing.
event. I
Yes.
mean, we got Dick Clark's corpse to do all of our announcing. So
Cool.
yeah.
Hi, everybody. This is Dick
Oh.
Clark. Yes. Will it be punch? Yes. Maybe not the type you like, but punches. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Just punchy host. Bye.
Yeah.
I'll come back now. I hear.
Bye. Quick.
Good, good,
Is it
good,
going to end?